What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am your boy, Jolly by Nature, and we are here to do our Chapter 2 PvP team builder for the Blastburn Radio Nuzlocke World Tour. If you're not familiar, be sure to check out previous episodes on the playlist, and be sure to check out Blastburn Radio Podcast, which is kind of like the anchoring point for this entire series. But ultimately, we need to battle our two co-hosts tonight, and so we need to have the team looking fresh, looking right, looking ready to do battle. Now, this week is really interesting for a lot of reasons. Chapter 2 gameplay was enormous. There were a ton of new encounters, not just for us, but for our opponents. The teams are nigh unrecognizable. Of course, we also all got a new egg Pokemon this week, which are really centralizing in the series, and we knew they were going to be because you guys kind of handcrafted them for us, which means that not all of them, but some of them are really, really strong. And so they're kind of by de facto going to be kind of premier options. Though not the only premier options. We also got some good shit in encounters, and so did our opponents. So let's take a look at the team really quick. So my 8-mon roster for PvP this week consists of Waffles the Tyrant, level 25, Hasty Strong Jaw with Rock Tomb, Stealth Rock, Bite, and Aerial Ace, Granola the Crobat, Modest Nature, Inner Focus with Wing Attack, Confuse Ray, Return, and Bite, Sashimi the Gyarados, our last-minute boy, Intimidate, Lax Nature with Return, Dragon Rage, Bite, and Splash. Spoilers, we're not keeping the Splash. Peanut the Meowstic, the female Meowstic, Relaxed Nature, Infiltrator ability with Psyshock, Light Screen, Covet, and Fake Out. Yam, our Modest Plusle, with the ability Plus, which is utterly useless, with Spark, Helping Hand, Thunder Wave, and Encore. Taquito, our starter, our Quilladin, Quirky Nature, Overgrow, with Leech Seed, Pin Missile, Vine Whip, and Rollout. Optimus, our Poniard, Adamant Natured, Defiance with Metal Claw, Sucker Punch, Stealth Rock, and Feint Attack. And Johnny, our new Egg Boy, our Pinsir, Jolly Natured, Moxie ability with Bug Bite, Close Combat, currently Seismic Toss, and Feint Attack. We're going to be playing with that moveset a little bit. Unfortunately, as you can tell, that does mean that a couple of our good boys are sitting the bench this week. They're just... There's a legitimate conversation to be had in the long term, right? Over whether Wellington or Yam kind of fills that speedy support role better. Yam currently has a couple of things going for it. One, it's a little faster, which for a speedy support Pokemon is important. Two, it's an electric type, which means that it can potentially threaten Celeste's Skarmory. Not so much this week. Its only offensive electric move is Spark, and Skarmory's massive physical bulk kind of outweighs its type weakness to electric a little bit. But as soon as we get a special electric move, Yam is going to be probably the most threatening thing on our team for a while against that Skarmory, which is really, really important. And third, and this is really important, this week specifically, this is a doubles PvP week, and aside from just the paralysis support, which Yam provides in Thunder Wave, and Wellington provides in Compound Eyes Stun Spore, which is almost as accurate overall. Yam also has Helping Hand and Encore, which are both potentially really, really huge moves. Not that Wellington doesn't have his own like hotness for PvP, specifically in Struggle Bug, which lowers special attack. Unfortunately, most of the big threats my opponents are packing are physical this week, and so the ability to have like offensive control with Struggle Bug is a little bit less compelling than it would have been otherwise. But Struggle Bug, which hits both sides of the field and lowers special attack, is really compelling for doubles, just not so much this week. We're not bringing Baloney the Barrel. He's already pretty thoroughly outclassed. Baloney is here to carry our HMs and be a friend, but that's about it at this point. And then Saffron, I'm really excited to use Saffron. Doubles is not a good environment for Saffron to thrive in as like a special tank and cleric. That's not really a role that is viable in doubles. In doubles competitive, and in addition, just doesn't really have the offensive oomph that I'm looking for. Like Magical Leaf is fine, Fairy Wind is not enough. Like it really needs Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast to kind of put it up a tier, and we're just not there yet, unfortunately. We do get the shiny stone next week. I'm not sure if we're going to evolve Saffron immediately or if we're going to wait. I need to do some looking into like what level Floette learns Moonblast versus at what point do we get access to the move relearner so that we can teach a Florigist Moonblast, like those kind of things. Like I need to look at those on paper and kind of do my own mental calculus there. But Saffron is definitely going to be a part of the team for PvP, like unquestionably, just not right this second. So yeah, this is our team, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Again, I still think that our opponents have some fire of their own that could potentially be really problematic, and we'll talk about that. So actually, let's talk about that now, and let's start with the person who cleaned my fucking clock last week, in our good friend Celeste. Celeste has picked up some hotness on her team this week. She still has that Skarmory star screen that was such a problem. She still has her starter, now a Frogadier, Jamak. She still has that Pikachu, Brad, which is really important when you consider the fact that we're now rocking a Gyarados, that she does have an electric type. Celeste also managed to pick up a Snorlax. Yum. She picked up Snorlax on that Route 7 encounter, which again, no shade, easily the best thing on that route if we're being 100, although I'm very, very happy that we picked up Saffron instead. I fucking love Florigis, but Snorlax is a problem and one that we have to be very, very aware of. She also picked up her own Floette named Song. She picked up her Kanto starter, the only Kanto starter still living. I'm so sorry, Anna. A Charmeleon named Benson, which is important again because she knows that we are rocking a grass starter and a Poniard and a Pinsir. So I think that Charmeleon is very likely to come this week. She also picked up an Amora with her fossil encounter named Glimmer. And then lastly, but certainly not least, out of her egg, she hatched a, oh god, what's the little guy? A Shroomish, who is now a Breloom named Shiitake. A Technician Breloom. So we have a Technician Mach Punch Breloom to deal with, which makes anything that has a fighting weakness have problems. So that's not ideal, obviously. But yeah, like Bullet Seed, Mach Punch Technician Breloom is good. Is really, really good. So we have to figure out what combination of our team gives us the best possible opportunity to combat those things. And I'm going to start with the Mon that I think is a lock for every match this week, and that is Peanut the Meowstic. A combination of Light Screen and Fake Out is huge. Light Screen less so against Celeste, whose team is so obviously like physically skewed, but Fake Out is enormous. Fake Out is huge, and spoilers, I think I'm the only person in PvP this week with access to Fake Out. How does Pikachu get Fake Out? Could her Pikachu have Fake Out? Is it by level up, or it is not by level up? It is an egg move? It's an egg move. Okay, so yes, Celeste 100% does not have Fake Out on her roster, which means I kind of get that free Fake Out on turn 1 against both of my opponents, which is huge. I can also obviously cycle Peanut out to get additional Fake Outs, and just in general, having that 66, having a strong special psychic move in Psyshock. Peanut Meowstic is not the most offensive Pokemon in general, but it's fully evolved at level 25. It has a strong stab move, and that's not nothing. In hindsight, I kind of wish I had also hung on to Psybeam, specifically for Skarmory, because even though it's resistant, Skarmory's special defense is so bad that it would have hit a lot harder than Psyshock if I needed to kind of double into it. But I didn't think about that in time, and this is kind of where we are. We also have Covet, which means that like if we eat our own berry, for instance, if we give Peanut a berry, we can then take an item from an opponent, which is not nothing. I like that a lot. The other Mon that I think is a lock for every match this week is Sashimi. Again, Intimidate is incredibly good when you're going up against physically attacking Mon, and the majority of, especially Celeste's team, but also a lot of Anna's team is physical. Anna's team, I guess, is more 50-50. But Celeste's team almost exclusively physical, and so that Intimidate is huge, potentially. fairly even defensive stats as well on Sashimi, which is nice. We are also going to be bringing Johnny to every match this week. And in fact, I think that our lead against Celeste is probably Peanut Johnny. We're going to be giving Johnny Swords Dance. And being able to just fake out Swords Dance on turn 1 just applies so much immediate pressure. At +2, Johnny should be dealing about half health to that Skarmory with close combat, which is a move that she doesn't know I have yet, because we haven't used these Pokemon in PvP yet. So that's, I think, potentially really, really huge, and gives us a lot of leeway to clean up after, especially with something like Sashimi using Dragon Rage. One thing I have to be very aware of is that the Rest and Sleep Talk TMs were available this week, which means that Celeste could have given her Skarmory Rest, and I'm not going to get too many opportunities. That being said, if she's resting, she's not Brave Birding, which means that, which I think is a losing battle against Johnny overall. From here, I think against Celeste, it gets a little bit harder, a little bit more complicated. I think we do bring Yam. I think we absolutely bring Yam for a couple of reasons. I think that the Thunder Wave support in general is pretty freaking good. But also, I think Encore is really important in this matchup. Again, Rest and Sleep Talk were available this week. Swords Dance is available this week, and Celeste has a Breloom. So I expect that Breloom to have Mach Punch, Bullet Seed, Swords Dance, and maybe Protect. Some combination thereof. It won't have Spore. It shouldn't have Spore. But I would expect those moves. And if it tries to Swords Dance on me, being able to Encore it into that Swords Dance is potentially enormous. So I want to have that option on the field. I think for that same reason, in the Breloom at least, we definitely bring Granola, something that can outspeed the world, quad resist both of its stabs, and can hit it quad effective with flying. I think I would be a fool not to bring even a bad Crobat against the Technician Swords Dance. Excuse me, Breloom. Yeah, that's all I think pretty clear. What's not pretty clear is who goes in that 6th slot. I think that Optimus is really, really good in general. Optimus has Metal Claw, which is quad effective against the Amora and super effective against the Floette. And I think the Amora is coming. I think Celeste definitely brings Snorlax. Skarmory definitely brings Breloom. Most likely brings Charmeleon because of the fire weaknesses that I have. Definitely brings Pikachu to deal with Gyarados. So that 6th slot is really the question, and of her 6 slot options, I think Amora is the best one. I think that it has the ability to punish with Thunder Wave if it's ignored on the field, and also just Refrigerate Return hits like a big fuck off Mack truck. And I think that that's definitely something that she's going to want. And Optimus is very good against those options, against the Amora and the Floette if it does come specifically. But, and I cannot overstate this, Breloom just Mach Punches it and it crumples. It just dies. Like, it has no counterplay to that. And for that reason, like, there's a part of me that wonders if I'm not better off taking either Taquito or Waffles. I think Waffles is kind of a hard sell this week and Evolved. Honestly, Waffles probably wouldn't even be on the PvP roster if I had a better option for that spot. But as we've already kind of talked about, there was no universe in which Saffron or Wellington was coming to PvP this week, and I think that they're more obviously not coming than Waffles is, which has its own value, right? Because our opponents have to plan for Waffles. I don't think they have to plan in the same way for Saffron or Wellington. So the real question is Taquito or Optimus. Taquito is actively weak to the Amora, which is potentially a problem. Leech Seed is so good. Leech Seed is excellent. It forces swaps. And it's only weak to the Charmeleon, whom we have other like reasonably strong answers for. Do we have reasonably? Well, I mean, we have Gyarados. Gyarados is a pretty damn good Charmeleon answer. We've also got Light Screen, which Charmeleon, well, and Pikachu are like these special attackers here. Sorry, this is really hard, guys. I hadn't actually made my mind up about this when we started, and I was like, well, I'll make it up as we go. I have not made it up as we go. The problem is if we don't bring Optimus, our only option for dealing with Amora like really quickly and effectively is close combat on Johnny on Pincer, and Johnny can't just win the game in doubles. Like, he's gonna get doubled down. Close combat is going to reduce his defenses. Like our best option for Johnny is not to like be the big one hit fuck you but win button. It's to punch a big hole in the team that the rest of the team can then exploit, right? I think it's Optimus. I think that it's really Optimus. We have a couple of things that we can swap into if that Breloom hits the field when Optimus is out. Like, obviously Granola being the best of those, but Sashimi and Johnny also can switch in pretty well to an anticipated Mach Punch. Even Peanut. Most of this team can switch into fighting pretty effectively. I'm probably going to regret this. Leech Seed is so good, especially in doubles. But I think this is our team for Celeste. Now, against Anna. Anna's team consists of Carmelite, that Aerodactyl, Samsara, her Braixen, Joy, her Psyduck, Princess, her Amora, Hugo, her Diggersby, London, her Hippopotas, Rose, her Roselia, and J Balvin, her Chatot, which was her Eggmon this week. Which you might be thinking, it's a Chatot. And I will admit, I had a moment of that as well. But I looked at what Chatot's potential egg moves are and things. So Chatot, if you were not aware, from egg moves. Also, wonderful nickname. Just top tier, Anna. Good job. Chatot, well, first of all, it gets Taunt so at level 25. So it can have Taunt this week. It can have Sing this week. So those are things. In addition, by egg moves, Chatot gets Boom Burst. Chatot gets Defog, so Anna now has a Defogger. That's not as relevant this week, but it's a thing, potentially, if it has it. It gets Air Cutter, it gets Encore, it gets Nasty Plot. So, yeah, potentially we could be looking at a Nasty Plot Boom Burst setup. We could be looking at a Choice Specs or Choice Scarf Boom Burst setup. These are problems. These are for real problems. I would expect anyone who gave her a Chatot and an egg would have given her at least Boom Burst and Air Cutter, and some combination of Defog, Encore, Nasty Plot, likely. So those are all things we have to be like super aware of. It could set up on us, or it could just hit like a big fuck off Mack truck. It is potentially a problem. So against Celeste, or against Anna, Jesus Christ, I keep doing this. The other things that I really need to be aware of personally, the Aerodactyl is going to have offensive moves this week. Hone Claws, Aerial Ace, and Rock Tomb all had their TM availability in this chapter of gameplay, and Aerodactyl is a great abuser of all of those things. Cannot Mega Evolve yet, but still stupid fast, still able to Hone Claws and hit hard. Not great. We got the Braixen this week, which means that, again, she's going to have a fire, and not a great fire option. Braixen's learn set is kind of weird, where it doesn't really get a good fire move until like right before it's fully evolved. But it does have Psybeam, so we're going to have to be aware of the fact that it's going to have good psychic coverage and bad fire coverage. But I mean, that's good news for Optimus, right? I definitely think she brings the Aerodactyl, of course. She definitely brings the Chatot. I think that Anna is probably going to bring the Diggersby. I think that with Stab Return, it's actually one of her better Chapter 2 options. I think that she's going to bring the Roselia for certain, if only for status. Probably her Braixen as well. Like, Psybeam's not nothing, even if it's not particularly potent against my team. And then I think either the Amora or the Hippopotas. Again, the Amora is good for all of the same reasons that Celeste's Amora is good. Hippopotas gets Yawn, which is like that's a legitimate tech in doubles, especially. Its stats are not great this early in the game, but like it does get Sand Chip and it does get Yawn. I'm less worried about Anna than I am about Celeste this week. If I'm being 100, I just need to manage the birds, manage the Chatot, manage the Aerodactyl, and this should be a fairly winnable chapter for me. For that reason, actually, here let's check something really quick. So for our Plusle, I'm not going to bother to change stats. They don't need to be exact. But we're just going to say a modest Plusle with Spark. how much damage do we do against this Chatot with Spark? 61 to 77%, which is not ideal. Okay. How about our Gyarados with Return? About the same. All right. Well, that's okay because we've got a couple of different options here. What about our Crobat with God, you are so bad. Granola, my boy. Jesus. You know what? So, I feel kind of like we need to bring Granola. Hold on. Sorry. I should have done all this before we even started, but now my brain is working, and I'm trying to decide what our best way to beat a Chatot lead is. Like if it's worst case scenario, if it is Choice Specs Boom Burst, how do we beat it? I think that's still probably the best. Okay, so I think our lead against Anna is actually going to be Granola and Peanut. We're going to give Granola the Choice Band. And that way we can, if it's a Chatot lead, we can fake out Return and then Return again and outspeed it and finish it off. Which I think is probably our best option. Fun fact, Granola is going to speed tie. Is going to speed tie the Aerodactyl. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us too goddamn hard. I mean, honestly, if they're both on the field, like what I need Granola to do is confuse it, 100%. But yeah, is it? Oh God, do we choice ban Granola or do we choice ban something else? That's a really important question. And the problem I think with Granola overall is Granola has nothing to threaten the Aerodactyl, which is itself a problem. I think we might actually bring Waffles to this fight. Let's see, Tyrant, level 25, Hasty, give him Choice Band, and give him Rock Tomb. Which also gives speed control, which is nice. Actually, yeah, I think that is the play. Yep. Okay, so I don't think we're even going to bring Granola. I don't think Granola offers our best answer in this match the way that it does against Anna. I think that instead we are going to bring Waffles. No, get back. You are definitely coming, Sashimi. And then the other question becomes, do we bring Taquito to this match? Not great against Braixen, although Braixen again lacks a really strong fire move to use. Actively bad against Amora. Good against Diggersby, good against Hippopotas. And my only good answer against those Mon as well, like medium bad against Roselia. I don't think Roselia should have good grass stab or good poison stab yet. Bad against Chatot, but I think I've figured out kind of what my good answers to Chatot are. I suppose the question at that point becomes, who do I not bring in favor of Taquito if I'm bringing Taquito? Not sitting Johnny or Optimus or Sashimi or Peanut or Waffles. So I guess it comes down to Yam. Which there are 2 ground types on this team. 2 ground types and a grass type. Yeah, I think we bring Taquito instead of Yam against Anna, and I think that's the play. Now, real quick, we're gonna make some move set adjustments. Move some held items around. You know the deal. So we are gonna give Swords Dance. We could give Swords Dance to Optimus as well. I don't think Optimus gets nearly as many opportunities to use it. We're also going to dish out some Protect, which is really important because this is doubles PvP. And so having the option to Protect is potentially at least huge. Yep. Close Combat, Bug Bite, Swords Dance, and Protect is going to be Johnny's moveset this week. We're going to learn Protect over Splash on Sashimi, which is, again, really huge, especially against Celeste, because we can potentially stay in against the Pikachu, bait the electric attack, and remove it, which then makes Sashimi just that much more powerful in that matchup. And we're going to give... This might be a mistake in the long term, but we're going to give Protect over Bite to Granola. We have Dark coverage elsewhere. Certainly we have Optimus. And there's nothing that I need Granola to hit with Dark. Waffles, what do you know? Is it worth teaching you Protect? No, we need to keep Stealth Rocks on you. Not so much for this week, but just in general, we need you to have Stealth Rocks. Is it worth teaching Peanut Protect? I think maybe, actually. Is it more valuable than Covet? God. Maybe. Yeah, I think it is. All right, so I feel pretty good about that. We're using almost everything in PvP this week. The only Mon that is not seeing any play... There aren't any Mon not seeing any play. Huh. Yeah, that's pretty cool then. Let's go. All right, real quick, let's play with held items. So... I anticipate my first opponent being Celeste. Celeste won last week. She's going to get to choose her opponent first, even if she chooses Anna. Sorry, Anna. I think Celeste has the edge in that matchup. So I think we're going to be facing Celeste first. So we are going to set our team up like we want it for facing Celeste. We are going to give... the Rocky helmet to Sashimi, who I think might just hold it all week this week, because Sashimi is very good against the physical threats our opponents have. Maybe not. Maybe Taquito gets it back against Anna. And we are going to give, against Celeste, we're going to give the band to Optimus. To the boy who brought it to me to begin with. You get your own choice band back. We are going to give an Orange Berry to Peanut. An Orange Berry to Yam. An Orange Berry to Granola. I really wish that I had like an electric reducing berry. I do not. But I don't expect that we're going to let ourselves get hit by Brad the Pikachu anyway. And I'm going to go ahead and give a Cherry Berry, because I think that paralyzing Johnny is going to be a top priority for Celeste, and so denying her that will be good. Against Anna, again, Waffles is definitely going to get the choice band. We'll give Optimus a berry in its place, and either Taquito is getting an Orange Berry and Sashimi is keeping the Rocky helmet, or I'm going to switch those around in that matchup. I feel like Sashimi keeps the Rocky helmet. I feel like Rocky helmet is just very good on Sashimi this week. I could probably also give Protect over Rollout on Taquito. Yeah, I think I will, actually. There's no world in which I'm clicking Rollout on Taquito this week. And even in gameplay, if I need a Rock Attack, I have much safer options. So we'll go ahead and give Taquito Protect. We should be getting Spiky Shield soon, and that'll be really, really helpful, actually. All right, well that's our PvP team builder. I hope you guys are as excited for Chapter 2 PvP as I am, and I'm really excited to get into Chapter 3 and beyond. After the next chapter, we'll be able to Mega Evolve Johnny, guys, and that's super duper exciting. It's kind of ironic because one of my favorite megas, one that I've never really got a chance to substantially use for one of my favorite Pokemon, in maybe the worst circumstances possible for it to have like great competitive success. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, LA. I love him so much. But with Anna having that Mega Aerodactyl, it just beats him. It just beats him. It outspeeds him, and quad effective one-hit KOs him every goddamn time unless it misses. And that's a huge problem. And against Celeste, it's just not a great option for breaking that Skarmory. Like, she has a wall that just walls it so hard. It's better against Celeste than it is against Anna, but it's still got problems. I'm still really excited to use it. We're going to do our best. But hopefully we'll also get some other good options out of the encounter pool and out of the egg box, so I can kind of build the team a little bit better rounded and better able to work around those threats. But yeah, really excited to keep this series rolling. I hope that you guys have had fun and that you're looking forward to it as well. As always, I have been Jolly by Nature. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Hey, what's up, everybody? You made it to the end of the video. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons so you stay up to date on what I and my co-hosts are doing right here on the Blastburn Radio YouTube page. Also, be sure to check out Blastburn Radio Podcast, which is available wherever fine pods are casted, as well as at our website down below at blastburnradio.com. But yeah, we'll be back next time, and I hope to see you there. Take care.